Hello, everyone. I am Victor Yates, and I am with the Black Alphabet Film Festival. The film festival centers Black LGBTQ plus stories, and it will be held in Chicago October 13th through the 15th. And it is my absolute pleasure to chat with the Tony Moore, who does it all. Tony is a producer, actor, host, and director. Tony directed the short film Kevin, and it was selected to be at the film festival. Tony, you are incredible. I just want you to know that.
Oh, thank you so much. Listen, when you set yourself out to do something, and sometimes you got to do it alone. So, you should never let anybody stop you from doing what you want to do. So, if I got to have all those slashes to make something happen, then baby, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
You also wrote the script for Kevin. What
Yes.
inspired you to write the script for Kevin?
Well, Kevin was actually inspired by the movie The Artist. I don't know if you remember that movie, but it was about the silent film era. And so I remember being in the theater and watching the movie and thought, what if there was like a gay story that was told only through sound and music? And that's where the inspiration of Kevin came from. Now, getting it into a script form was very hard because it's a movie obviously with no dialogue, and it took some time, but eventually I was able to put it into a script.
Okay, I love that. So, not only did you write, but you also starred in it and directed it. What
Mhm.
past experiences prepared you to work on Kevin?
Well, I've been producing my own content for, over a decade now. My very first project that I did was called Lounging with Tony, and it was a pop culture interview show. So, kind of, back then is when I started being able to create and produce, which kind of gave me the training wheels to
Okay.
finally tackle on this big project.
Okay.
Um, but it was just like it just felt like, another project, another, piece of content that I was creating and, something that I had the vision for, but I just had to take it from here. What I've been seeing in my mind and actually put it onto the screen.
I love that. So, you've had a decade of prep to move
Yeah.
into these different roles. So, I really love that. Um, so, what challenges did you face before, during, and after shooting?
Before shooting was actually just getting started, realizing what I needed to make the project happen, having people on board who were going to be supportive and understood, the vision. So a lot of that were the biggest hurdles to jump over. But in 2020, we were all shut down and
Yes.
all, in our houses. And, I really started, thinking like I really wanted to get this done. And once I started, mapping out, okay, what do you need? Who do you need? All of that kind of started falling into place. So once I found the locations and I had my co-director Wesley Quinn on board, then everything else was just super easy. It was just then calling out to actors to see who would play opposite me and gathering up some friends to play, the customers and background actors and that. And then, during it was just stressful because during filming, I've never shot a short film before, but I knew how things should work on set. So based on that experience, it was just trying to crunch in this, 10 minutes and 51 seconds short film, all the filming into one day with two locations. So it was getting everything we needed in the record store, having lunch because I'm Southern and I'm going to stop to eat, and then moving on to the bar restaurant location that evening. So A little stressful, just kind of moving everyone in. And then luckily, post production was super easy because Wesley Quinn, who co-directed, also did all the editing of it as
Oh,
well.
perfect.
Yeah, and so he was familiar with the story because I had literally driven it into his head before we even started shooting. And so he knew what shots were there. He knew what story needed to be told. He knew the music that needed to be added. So it was a nice marrying of the idea with the creative people to like make it happen.
Okay, perfect. So when the co-director came and was in the physical location, did any elements of the story change, or did it was just
No, it was once we got there, it was just a matter of making sure we got the shots that we needed and we were portraying the story as it should be.
okay?
Um, I kind of have a type A personality when it comes to shoot. No, I'm not crazy, but it's a little type A to just make sure everything is organized. And there were some creative moments where we would be like, oh, let's try this. Um, like one of my favorite shots of the movie is when we were sitting like in this aisle and listening to old tapes on a Walkman. When I saw the location, I was like, we have to do something in this. There's another moment here that shows our connection. And there were other times where Wes would say, this shot would look great to tell this part of the story. So it was collaborative. It was, we knew that we were on a time crunch, and so we just got in and got what we needed and hightailed it out. Ooh, that made it sound like we stole the location. We
Ah,
were able to be there, but
what was
we
your
but
time?
we knew what we needed.
What was
Huh?
your time?
We just had a day, and budget wise, I only had like budgeted maybe like 5 or 6 hours in the
Okay,
record store. So we
okay,
couldn't go past that because
okay.
who was going to pay that bill? Not
Ah,
I,
okay.
because I didn't have
So I
it.
love that. Sometimes it's those tight constraints that bring out a certain level of direction and creativity that we really need for a creative project. So I really love that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what are you most proud of with the film, Kevin?
What I'm most proud of is the fact that the way that I have envisioned it for the past 10 years, I can physically see it. Um, I have cried many a times watching this, um, because it's a mix of emotions of it's finally done to, this story is obviously very relatable, so it brings up those emotions. Um, but ultimately, it's just being able to see it in the physical, because
Okay.
every day someone thinks of something, everyone thinks of a project that they want to do, everyone thinks of a concept that they want to do, but it's when it's actually like sitting in front of you, it becomes a whole different thing, so that's what I'm most proud of, is the fact that I was determined to do it 10 years later, but I did it.
I love that. There will be a number of young filmmakers in the audience at the film festival. So, name 5 films that every young filmmaker who has not touched a camera as of yet should watch in order to learn specific like craft technique that they need to pick up.
Ooh, that is a good one. Because I feel like it all depends on the type of filmmaker that you want to be and what
Okay.
you gravitate towards. For me personally, I gravitate towards stories about, people, and especially real people. Selena, What's Love Got to Do with It, and then I gravitate towards the romantic comedies like Pretty Woman and Made in Manhattan. I know some people will probably go, like the Titanics and the Pulp Fictions and oh, the grit and the raw. But I like stories where I feel like I can take a journey with someone on, and it brings out, emotions and different feels, and you get to know people. The first movie that I felt like I could relate to, being a gay black male, or just being a gay male, was Billy's Hollywood Screen Kiss. That was
Okay.
the first gay film I ever saw. And then, Noah's Ark was a TV series that I felt like I could definitely relate to. So I think it's I would say watch things that bring out the stories that you want to tell, and see how those films are made, and see how they tell someone's story, and then you can have the vision for your own.
Okay. All right. Thank you for taking us on this journey. How can people reach you on social media?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure chatting with you, Mr. Tony Moore.
Oh,
Um,
thank you, Victor.
I look forward to seeing you in the near future.
Me too. I hope to see you in the future too.
Yes. Thank you all for watching this video. If you live in Chicago and the surrounding areas, please check out the Black Alphabet Film Festival. You will have an incredible time. It takes place October 13th through the 15th. You can visit the website blackalphabet.org. You'll have a great time, I guarantee. And you get to meet some of the filmmakers and talent that are in the films. So we'll see you there. Have a lovely day.